The community constituency is made up of different community organizations. These include traditional healers, traditional leaders, trade unions. It includes political organizations, NGOs, cooperatives, and religious organizations of different kinds, as well as professional organizations, Association of Black Accountants, Black Actuaries, and so on. The community constituency is an important component within ASISA in that it brings the voice of the needs of the people to whom ASISA wants to speak to. They are, in fact, the community. So all the objectives, goals of ASISA are aimed at benefiting members of the community. And we are privileged to represent the community members and to make inputs that are to their benefit within ASISA. To me personally, it has brought a lot of joy to be part of contributing to the realization of ASISA Foundation's objectives by way of indicating some of the areas that may have to be prioritized for now, given the limited resources that are available. If indeed there were far much more resources available, I'm sure ASISA Foundation would be reaching out to a whole lot of members of the community who need financial literacy education, which I believe personally is very, very, very important for every individual, given that ASISA Foundation has been set up to provide precisely financial literacy. In fact, for instance, the work that ASISA Foundation is doing in tertiary institutions, like TVET colleges as an example, is very important because the education curriculum in the country does not provide for personal financial literacy. You do find, people that graduate even from university. I know that we no longer have checks, but no one would have told anyone, the students in university, as to what is a check and what is a checkbook, and how does it work, and how do you, use this checkbook. It's just an example, but there's a lot more. My personal wish is we could be doing far more, even beyond personal financial literacy, to have basic knowledge of the economy for a whole lot of people. A lot of people vote for politicians without checking what they will do for the economy, for instance. And you don't get to that before you are aware of your own personal financial management. And therefore, by extension, those that are leaders of a country should do right so that, we are all able to prosper. Without doubt, the single most biggest highlight for me was when the foundation started focusing on extending financial literacy to members of cooperatives. It was very special because that's an area which, in my view, would make a huge difference. But of course, I mentioned a little earlier about the work that is done with students at the various tertiary establishments. That is also very, very significant for me personally, because what it does is it assists to embed the education in people's minds from an early age, because it has to be started early. The earlier, the better. And also with the cooperatives, What it does is it assists people that work collectively, and that way they can share knowledge between themselves and extend it to other people elsewhere, such as, for instance, in their personal families and so on, within the communities where they come from. In the first place, to the extent that ASISA Foundation can be able to mobilize even more funding than what it has done to date, that's the first part. The second one, for the foundation to collaborate with a whole lot of other entities that provide financial literacy, that, for me, would be the two most important activities that the foundation should be engaged in, so that we end up having as many people as possible, maybe even going to the 80-20 rule, that 80% of the people in the population should be able to use their money wisely and to manage their money wisely.